And now, ladies and gentlemen, you're standing in the outer wall of the Tower of London. That is to say that you're standing between the inner and outer ballium or defensive walls. Now, the inner wall is 50 foot high. The outer wall is 25 foot thick. To your left is Mint Street, so called because coins of the realm were designed and produced here until 1810. The building which housed the mint were known as casemates or houses in the wall, and today they are used for accommodation for some of my yeoman warder colleagues and their families. Behind you is a tall, narrow archway. It's here that King Henry VIII so lovingly awaited the arrival of the young lady who was going to become his second wife, Queen Anne Boleyn. Now he got down on one knee, he outstretched his right arm, and he said to her those famous words, "I promise to love you as long as you live." And he did, Anne of 1,000 days. In front of you here is the Bell Tower, the largest and the strongest of the 13 towers on the inner wall. It stands on 30 feet of masonry, 20 feet below ground, 10 feet above. It has 2 circular chambers. The walls are 10 foot at the bottom and 8 foot at the top. And these chambers, they have been used as a prison. And in the lower chamber, a man for all seasons, Sir Thomas More, the Lord Chancellor of all England, was held for refusing to accept Henry VIII as head of the church in England. At the same time, for the same reasons, John Fisher, the Bishop of Rochester, was held in the upper chamber. Now, both of these men suffered terribly for 15 months, but they refused to change their strong Christian beliefs. And in 1535, they were taken from here for execution on Tower Hill. 400 years after their execution, both of these men were canonized as saints of the Roman Catholic Church. And now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the person I'm going to talk about now, you've probably never heard of. But when I am finished, you will not forget the name of James Scott, Duke of Monmouth, eldest of 13 illegitimate children of King Charles II. And on the death of his father, this handsome and popular young man was persuaded to stake his claim for the throne of England, being that his uncle, James II, was a known Roman Catholic. Now, to press home those claims, he landed in the west coast of England, and he moved inland, gaining popular Protestant support in what we now know as the Monmouth Rebellion. They were defeated at the Battle of Sedgemoor in 1685, but the leader, he escaped and evaded capture. However, he was found hiding in a ditch 1 week later. And having been condemned to death, in his absence, he was brought back to the Tower of London, and 3 days later, he was taken out to Tower Hill for execution, in what would prove to be the bloodiest execution in English history. When he got to the scaffold site, he met a giant of a man by the name of Jack Ketch, who was a part-time executioner. He was also a part-time butcher, and he was a full-time alcoholic. But all of those together, they took not 1 nor 2, but 5 blows of the axe to remove the head from the body. Now, even then, he had to bend down and borrow a butcher's carving knife. Now, as he was cutting through the last shreds of skin and bone and gristle, and the head was about to fall into the basket, the Tower of London management rushed out from here. They rushed up to Tower Hill shouting, "Stop! We have made a grave mistake. He's the eldest son of a king, and we don't have a portrait of him." So after much discussion, they decided to bring the body back into the Tower of London. They then got what was left of the head, and the Surgeon General sewed them together again. The portrait was duly done, but I have to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, his face is somewhat sad. Enough of this blood and gore. Let us move around the corner.